Bonnie asked me to invite Billy Stair, and we're really delighted to have him talk a couple minutes about an initiative he's involved in. So Billy, can you come up, please? And maybe just hold this and talk about, and you brought your poster, so. And thanks for being here. Or you probably come over here, be good. And then kind of hold that one.
I'm sorry? Okay, thank you, Dave. Thank you for letting me have a couple minutes. Bonnie was kind enough to invite me to come. Let me begin in the spirit of full disclosure by saying my wife thinks that I've lost my mind. She had that reaction last week when I casually told her that I was going to go to Ukraine. A lot of you, I'm sure, have followed the war closely and know everything that I'm going to say. Others of you probably know pieces of it. When I watch what's on television every night, I'm absolutely stunned sometimes by what I see. The Russian casualties have been extraordinary. To put it in context, the Russians have lost more killed and wounded than the number of casualties at Gettysburg. For their part, the Russian strategy is to inflict utter devastation on Ukrainian towns and cities. They have systematically bombed schools and hospitals, and their goal is to absolutely destroy the Ukrainian infrastructure. I'm here today because the estimates are that roughly 4.5 million Ukrainians no longer have drinkable water. You've seen them on television. They're living in bomb shelters and basements and burned out apartments. They're literally drinking out of mud puddles in some places. I came to Rotary because I'm generally familiar with Rotary, and I know that over the years, water has been a core focus of your mission. When I go to Ukraine next month, I'm going to take 10 water purifiers with me. Each of these water purifiers is capable of cleaning about 25 gallons an hour. They operate, as you can see down there on the lower left hand, they operate on 54 watts of power, which is less than a light bulb. If they run 24 hours, which if hooked to a generator over there, which is what they do, you can do the math. One generator, one of these, water purifiers can clean enough water in 24 hours for 1,000 people, which is quite dramatic. I'm going to Ukraine probably around the second week of June with a guy named Joe Hurston, who is from Sneedville, of all places. Joe has been to Ukraine 4 times. He's actually over there right now. If you care to Google him, you can see several segments on channel 10 and 6 about him going over there. Joe and I will fly into Warsaw with the water purifiers, get a car, drive about 200 miles down to the western border. You can see on the map over by Lviv. At the border, we will be picked up by Ukrainian soldiers. The obvious question is where you're going to go. 2 or 3 people have already asked me that this morning. The honest answer is I'm not sure. The first 2 times, that's not the kind of thing they tell you ahead of time in a war. The first 2 times Joe went, he went, if you look at the map, up near Kiev, the capital. The last 2 times he's been over on the eastern side in the vicinity of Kharkiv, which is where we will likely go and which now is the scene of some horrendous bombing by the Russians. Each of these water purifiers costs $3,000. So the total is $30,000. My hope was that this club might be interested in sponsoring one of the water purifiers. The Noon Rotary Club has made a commitment to do one. And my hope was that maybe this would be consistent with your mission. Tony, I'm not going to take any more time other than to say, when I watch the news every night, like many of you do, I'm just absolutely overwhelmed by the courage of the people in Ukraine. And anything this club could do would make what I believe will be a lasting difference for some of the bravest people that I've ever seen. Thank you for letting me speak.
Yeah, well, if you can stay after, that might help. If you don't mind. It would help Bonnie and Billy if you send me a little note, because then I can also forward a little description to the district and see if there are ways to, connect and multiply. Okay. But you are a brave man with a big heart.